We're wanting this filly to learn to use her rear end and get herself stopped. So we started off letting her up to the fence at 90 degrees. When she got good at that, we started letting her up to the fence at 45 degrees rather than at 90. And then we started letting her come to a walk rather than all the way to a stop at the fence. And then we started letting her come to a trot rather than a walk or a stop at the fence. Now here Heidi is doing a good job of making this mare go within 1 yard of each of the two fences. So she's making her circle as big as she can make it in this arena, and she's making it as round as she can make it in this arena. And you can see this horse wanting to dive in. So that's what we're going to be working on. We're going to be trying to teach this horse to anticipate going straight rather than anticipate turning. When you get done setting still, tell her the word, back her up step, roll back right, 90 degrees, back her up, and then finish that roll back. If she's expecting to walk out of that roll back, ask her to lope. If she's expecting to go faster than a walk, go with her and just let her do whatever she wants. Now, right vertical flexion at the walk. Keep that circle big. Good. Keep working on that right vertical flexion. When she's had enough of that, ask her to trot. This filly gets a little bit excited about that walk to lope transition. So we're going to go back and do a lot of trot to lope transitions and be sure she's always waiting on us before she lopes off. We want her anticipating that she's going to soften her face, drop her neck, and relax, rather than anticipating that she's going to throw her neck up, get stiff, and go faster. Right vertical flexion, slow sitting trot. When she's had enough of that, right vertical flexion at the walk some more. When she's had enough of that, right vertical flexion at the trot some more. And when she's had enough of that, right vertical flexion at the walk some more. When she's had enough of that, right vertical flexion at the trot some more. But don't trot her off on slack and then get your right vertical flexion. Ask her for right vertical flexion as you ask her to trot. That's enough. Go ahead and saddle her, Damien. And then line drive her with the halter, just like you did yesterday. When you line drive her, she's probably going to buck. That's okay. That's better, Heidi. Good. Keep doing what you're doing and be a little bit more aggressive with her. Which means she's going to be, you're going to go to her mouth a little harder, which means you're going to have to kick her a little harder. And then when she's had enough of that, get up off her back and ask her to lope. When you use your hand with a horse, he ought to slow down or stop unless you add an equal or greater amount of leg. So the more aggressive you get with your hand, the more leg you have to
Very
use.
good. Good job of not looking at the horse. When she's been around more than once, let her up to one of these fences at 45 degrees. When she walks, walk a small circle to the left.
This mare is stopping nicely when we let her up to the fence at 45 degrees. So this time, rather than allowing her to stop, we're going to only allow her to walk and circle her to the left.
When she's nice and soft, walking to the left, put her on a big circle to the left.
She's a little bit stiff right now on the left side of her face. You can see how she's got her head up. She's kind of wanting to pull to the outside. So Heidi's going to walk her here until she starts softening to that left bit. And then we'll go on to the bigger circle.
Left vertical flexion at the walk. When she's had enough of that, ask her to lope. Try to pull back with your left elbow more than right. More than right. You're still bringing your left hand to the right. I want you to bring your left hand back. I want you to bring your left elbow back. There you go. Good. She needs to give it vertically just a little bit more. Good. That's right. Good. Be a little more aggressive with her now.
In theory, we don't train a horse in front of the saddle horn, but we use the head and neck to train the part of the horse that's behind the saddle horn. When this horse is straight in her body, she will naturally hang her head and neck in front of her. You can see right now she's wanting to throw her head up and to the right every time Heidi lets go of her. So that tells us that her body is slanted down and to the left. So by softening that face, that will cause that horse to get straight.
When she's been around more than once, let her up to one of these fences at 45 degrees. When she walks, walk a small circle to the right.
Generally, we work more than one circle and less than 2 circles before we go on to the next maneuver.
Perfect. When she's soft, walk the big circle. Work on that vertical, right vertical flexion on the big circle. Be fairly aggressive with her. She knows what she's supposed to do, but sometimes she just kind of wants to fight a little bit. And let her know you're there for it. Good. Try to pull your right elbow back more than moving your right hand to the left. That's getting better. You still feel how stiff she is in that right corner of her mouth, huh? You still need to move your right elbow back more. You're trying to do your left hand's job with your right hand. When she's had enough of that, same thing at the trot. There you go. There you go. Now you're starting to confront the issue there.
The rein only controls
When she's
what's
had
in
enough of
front
that,
it.
lope.
So when Heidi pulls her hand to the left, she's only softening that horse in her neck and head. When she pulls her hand towards the horse's tail, then she's softening the whole right side of the horse.
Very smooth, Heidi. Very smooth. When she's been around more than once, let her up to one of these fences at 45 degrees. When she trots, trot a small circle to the left. That's right. When she's soft on that small circle, put her on the big circle to the left. And now ask her to lope. Very smooth. Same thing.
You can see how this horse is leaning in when she comes to those fences. She's pretty sure she's going to turn to the left. So what we're saying to her is, oh no, you were mistaken. We'd never planned on going to the left. And that way she has to be ready to go to the right and to the left. And so she will learn to keep her feet underneath her and be collected and be ready for either possibility.
And Lope. Same thing.
So what we're doing is we are listening to this horse rather than predetermining a pattern that we're going to go on. So the first circle we listen to her to see where she wants to lean in, and then the second circle we're ready to go the other way.
Atta girl. Be aggressive with that left hand too if you have to keep your leg off the fence. When she's had enough small circle left, Lope her on the big circle left. Don't look at the horse. Same thing.
%90 of riding is in the eyes. I know that doesn't make much sense, but it's still true. When you look at a horse, you distract yourself from feeling what the horse's feet are doing by seeing what the horse's head and neck are doing.
Atta girl. Same thing. 1 yard earlier next time. Beautiful.
So by doing this exercise repetitively, this horse is going to get to the point where she doesn't know whether to anticipate keep loping the circle or trotting, and she doesn't know whether she's going to go right or left. When she's anticipating lope equally as trot and anticipating right equally as left, then she's not anticipating at all. Then she's listening. That's what we're after here.
Good. 1 yard earlier next time.
I'm Josh Armstrong. If there's something I can help you with, let me know.